No, thank you very much. It was actually a very fruitful and a productive meeting. I think informed by our just standing historical and current relationships, which are very cordial, but also comradely and neighborliness. So it was a very good meeting. We agreed on 6 instruments which we are going to use for the implementation of the decision. It's on correctional, it's on justice, social development, economy, and also safety and security. So they are going to be signed tomorrow by the president. But basically we agreed, there were 149 agreements in different areas, so that even areas where we're not going to sign the instruments, like in defense, we're not signing anything. It was to strengthen the relationships and identify new areas. In water, for instance, they also discussed quite a number of matters, because this binational, it's at the back of the meeting at 2023. So it was to review the progress and identify gaps, so that most of the discussions, those 149, would have come from just reconfirmation of the 2023 agreement and identifying new areas of work. For instance, with our problems of migration, obviously had to come the questions about passports and just movement. But also we have a unique relationship with Namibia, because remember, after the Germans left, South Africa took over of Namibia as a colonialist. So there's still remnants of the old administration of apartheid there, of your grants still being paid in South Africa by Namibia, because those people would have had South African citizenship, but now they reside in Namibia. So the other big thing is to continue to streamline the remnants of the old apartheid administration and also the new Namibian government. But there are also new emerging issues which we have to discuss face to face, like a whole issue around the Orange River, which continues to be a center of puts and pulls between us to say who owns which part of the river. So there are still those discussions, and some of the things we have taken them back to be done by experts, so that we don't fight over things. Will be advised by international law, but also by experts who would have done the research. But it was a very good meeting. As I said, there will be outstanding matters which will be discussed in between.
Given the proximity between South Africa and Namibia and its history that you have alluded to, was it difficult to find each other on some of the contested issues as well? I know you also discussed on a global stage into a piece of security also in the continent, particularly in the DRC and there's also in the Sudan as well. But just in terms of how difficult was it to find each other, South Africa and Namibia?
Actually, for me, this is one of the best meetings binational I've attended. It just shows the spirit and the relationships that we have with Namibia. That if something is difficult, we don't deny that it's difficult. We're unable to agree in a very brotherly way to say, let's not fight over this, let's take it to the experts, let them advise us, let's look at the law. So we never allow a conflict or misunderstanding to degenerate into a conflict. So we always find a very amicable way of dealing with difficult situations. And fortunately, as I said, this is actually one of the best. We agreed with Namibia on, when I speak to Namibia, it's like I'm speaking to a South African. We agreed on Sahrawi, we agreed on Sudan, we agreed on Palestine. So we share common values and principles with them. And I think because of our history as countries in the liberation struggle, SWAPO and the ANC were in the same camps. So that ethos and that culture still permeates. And I think the relationship we had built at that time still continues to inform the current relationships.
Thank you so much.
This is Ubuntu Radio,
a product of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, South Africa.